Yo, Hendler here at Average Use Slow-Pitch. Today we're getting a chance to bring out the new Miken Ultra Senior line. So obviously there's three of them here. We've got, and hopefully I don't butcher the name, but Mike Macenko's Big Cat. This one is a Super Max 13.5-inch barrel, so that's gonna be your full ounce end load. We've got Mike Dill's 13.5-inch balanced. And then we've got John Bailey's Max Load. This is a 12-inch barrel. So with the three of them, we're gonna go ahead, again, they're senior bats once we test them, see where they're at. But today we've only really got PK out here, so we're gonna let him throw as many swings as he wants to, kind of each of these. At the end, I'll do that kind of normal 10 to 15 swings with each one, just to kind of get a feel for it. Let PK talk to you about how the flex feels, barrels, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll put him on the tester for that kind of final compression piece. Now that senior ball is going to testing, and I believe that number's 140. But from there, again, we'll go with kind of that final compression, final thoughts. All right, first up, we got Mike Dill's 13.5-inch balanced Ultra. Again, 140, I believe, is the mark for senior bats when they test now. And like 215 basically. So a nice starting point, give you some chance to break it in a little bit, and then I'm assuming it'll last there for a while. Next up, we got John Bailey's 12-inch max load. So max load being a half ounce end load. The super max would be your full ounce. And same thing, basically 15 there. Oh, let's get it off the tester. There we go. And last but not least, and hopefully I don't butcher the name here, but Mike Macenko, I think is how you pronounce it. It's the Big Cat. This is a Super Max 13.5. So this is a 1 ounce end load, 13.5-inch barrel. And this one, let's see, we're all gonna get the same number on all of them. This one's a little bit higher, so this one's 230. So either way, gives us a chance to get some swings on all of them, see how they compare, how they feel, and then come back with final compression, final thoughts.
Okay, here we go. Another senior bat. I've got the Miken Ultra line. I've got the Mike Macenko, which is going to be the 13.5 full ounce at a 27. We're going to swing that one. We're going to swing the Mike Dill 13-inch balanced, and we're going to go with the John Bailey 12-inch. I'm just going to go for it. I love Miken. So I'm going to start with the Mike Dill, the balanced. And again, they're all senior bats, so I get to have my fun. I get to make Hendel look bad. No, I'm just kidding.
88 miles per hour.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
80 miles per hour.
I definitely like the feel off of it.
85 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's feeling real good off, even at a balanced. It's easier to control.
86 miles per hour.
So on the easy swing, it's got a real good reaction. But I guess if you try to get into one, you're going to get into it.
82 miles per hour. 89 miles per hour. 81 miles per hour.
Okay, so there's the Mike Dill balance, 13-inch barrel. 13.5. Okay, so I liked it. It had a great feedback. It had a great sound to it. Hendo was saying you don't have to try hard to get it to go. If you take your time and patience through, you'll definitely get an awesome reaction. And if you're going to charge into one, go get it. And I think you'll be satisfied with that. Okay, here we go. I really hope that I'm saying his name right. Mike Macenko, Big Cat. So we have a 13.5-inch barrel, Super Max end load, 27 ounce. Yeah, here we go. Part of the Ultra line.
88 miles per hour.
Softer sound, softer feel to that. Handles.
Miles per hour.
There's the handle, boys.
81 miles per hour.
Maybe let it go out. Nope. Definitely a softer feel through it. There's a lot of flex in the handle at a 13.5-inch barrel. Yeah.
86 miles per hour. 89 miles per hour.
I like that knuckleball. Yeah, it's perfect. Still got that soft feel to it though.
86 miles per hour. 90 miles per hour.
90? Wow.
89 miles per hour.
Oh.
87 miles per hour.
Okay, so there's a Macenko Big Cat Ultra Miken 13.5-inch barrel Supermax end load. Surprisingly, with the 1 ounce end load on a 27-ounce bat, it's pretty easy to control. Had a softer sound, softer feel to it, but I was still able to control it surprisingly at a 13.5. Yeah, I liked it, especially for a senior bat. Good reaction, good feedback. Now I'm gonna jump into the 12-inch Johnny Bailey. Now, I've seen this guy play for a lot of years in the military circuit. I watched him when he played with GI. Guy's a stud. I can guarantee you this has got to be one heck of a bat. So let's get it.
89 miles per hour. 84 miles per hour.
If I'd square one up, I'd probably be all right.
89 miles per hour. 85 miles per hour. 84 miles per hour. 86 miles per hour.
Knuckleball.
90 miles per hour. 89 miles per hour.
All right. Johnny Bailey, thank you, sir. 12-inch, 27-ounce. I liked it. I like the 12-inch. Easy to control, a lot of effort. But I will say this. For anybody that thinks that you don't have to put in the work and learn your craft and learn your tools, you're crazy. 13.5-inch, and a 12-inch. Know what you're dealing with. Change your swing accordingly, but work on your craft. You're not going to have, if you're an older person like me and you lose some over the years, you're not going to have the same reaction off of a bat unless you work on it.
All right, as always, gonna go ahead and roll through these three that PK swung, especially since we didn't have PK braved it for us today and was the only one out here for the senior bats. But just 5-10 swings with each one just to get a feel for it, give my kind of feedback. Obviously, I would, if I'm you guys, I would listen to kind of what PK talks about here at the end for these bats. But either way, let's give them a try and get out of here before this wind gets any worse. I think we talked about on PKs, probably didn't show you, but we're only at like 10-mile-per-hour winds, but we're up to 35, I think, gusts today, so we might take a couple pauses. But luckily for our wind, it's blowing into the first base dugout, so shouldn't really give us any assistance. And really, we're here just to get more of the kind of feel, use the radar for forgiveness, and then let you kind of know how these perform. I would say for PK, he's talked about before, he's early 50s. He's, no matter what he tells you, he's still got a great swing. I think he's got good swing speed, but he's probably a better for the guys that are late 40s, slower swing speed, that kind of stuff. Take that feedback 100%. And then if you're somebody who's just now getting in a senior ball, or maybe the much stronger guys, faster swing speed, then hopefully kind of my feedback helps you out. But up first, Mike Dill's 13.5-inch balance.
103 miles per hour. 110 miles per hour.
Yeah, so I think PK mentioned it, I think earlier. So the bedlam, when we swung at senior bedlam, I'd call that flex, right? So we, on our rankings, you'll see we have from flex, semi-flex, semi-stiff, stiff. This is somewhere right there in the middle, a mix between kind of semi-flex, semi-stiff. And I think it's gonna be kind of an all-around, any type of swing type can use it for sure. But with that being said, you by no means have to swing really, really hard. I'll get a few more at kind of this 80% type of swing, which I typically do on the senior bats because of the little bit extra flex, and then ramp it up for a few and see if it makes a big difference, or maybe it tells you you don't want to go kind of that full swing.
110 miles per hour.
yeah, that'll do for Dill's 13.5 inch ultra balanced. But crazy part for me is that last swing was kind of my normal swing. Got that 110 mark earlier on, same thing, not having to swing fully, 110. So a real good option there. I knew Dill would have a great bat this year, and again, a real good option there. Let's swap over now. Just like PK said, hope we're not butchering the name, but Mike Macenko, the big cat, 13.5 inch. This is a full ounce end load, so super max.
107 miles per hour.
Whew. So the one thing I'll tell you though, with the longer barrel being 13.5 full ounce, you can feel every bit of that end load. Now it's not so much that I feel like it's just dragging through the zone, but you gotta be an end load fan if you're gonna swing something this long of a barrel that also has that full ounce end load.
108 miles per hour. 106 miles per hour. 109 miles per hour.
Yep, all the forgiveness you can want.
105 miles per hour.
I think that's the perfect spot to stop. Yeah, so the big cat, for me, if I had to pick between the two, for my swing, I'm going with this one, also because I'm an end load fan, but between the end load and the fact you only need about that 70-80% swing, at least for me, I think PK mentioned the same thing, it does all the work for it, and the ball absolutely flies off of this. Tons of forgiveness. So far, two great options from Miken for the senior game. Let's check out John Bailey's 12-inch half-ounce end load, which is basically my, if I don't have a 12.5, I'm going down to 12 before I go up to 13, so real excited for this one.
109 miles per hour.
Oh yeah. And it's hard to tell, but this kind of camo, I don't know what you want to call it, paint job, this thing's fire. I'm gonna say that old Johnny Bailey picked his own paint scheme, and great job.
108 miles per hour.
Yep, this one's my favorite, I'll tell you that right now.
109 miles per hour.
I mean, that's insane consistency, great feel, sound, all of it. And maybe it's because of the shorter barrel. This one, to me, is more of the semi-stiff, where the other two were that semi-flex. Not a ton of flex, but enough that I think they really work for the senior game. And this one, so far, to me, is gonna be those real stronger players. Again, there's a reason John Bailey's name's on it. If you don't know who he is, look him up. I mean, I probably need to start lifting some weights. I'd love to be John Bailey's size, but reason he's been killing it for, I don't know how long now. I've known his name since I started playing, so he's been around the game for a long time.
106 miles per hour.
106, topped it.
107 miles per hour. 114 miles per hour.
Yep, 114, baby. Yeah, so there you have it, the all-new Miken Ultra line. I'll talk about them more in the final thoughts. PK talked to you about his thoughts on them, but these are all great senior bat options. From what we've swung so far, seems like the senior game this year has dropped some outstanding bats. I've heard a lot of guys tell me, hey, you got to swing some of the Suncoasts. I know Evan Hardy over there on Softball Uncensored speaks crazy highly of them. I'm going to work on getting maybe one of the slightly older ones, figure out what model he's swinging, something like that, just to have that to compare these two. But let's get him back to the garage, throw him on the tester. Final impression, final thoughts. Let's see what we've got from the Miken Ultra Gamer Series bats. First up, Mike Dill's 13.5 balanced. Again, senior game 140 is the mark now for testing. So you can still get your bats nice and low. All these started over I think they were all like at 220, so tons of wiggle room there. Maybe just a hair under 220. But this one's down to 180. So again, we put PK, I think, did about 30 to 40 swings in each one. Another guy out there got a chance to take some swings just while we were picking up some of the balls. And then I got my 15-ish swings on each. So each of these bats does have, well, bad math, 30, 45, probably about 60 to 70 swings. So, yep, you can still 100% game them, get them broken in, get a nice feel for them, and really should have zero issues with that much kind of compression to play with. And again, hopefully not butchering his name, but Mike Macenko's 13.5 full ounce end load here, or super max, I should say. And this one's right at about 190, I would call it. So again, plenty of wiggle room. And my personal favorite from the bunch, which doesn't really matter, seeing as I don't get to play senior ball for another 5 years, but Johnny Bailey's 12-inch max load, so half-ounce end load. And let's get that to stop moving. There we go. And this one is 180, maybe a little over 180. So either way, all three of these felt great, can be BP'd, and still have plenty of compression wiggle room. I'll talk about it real briefly in the final thoughts, but I definitely talked about it at the field. And again, PK is kind of your senior guy or senior back guy to listen to here for these reviews. And Mike Dill's balanced. These are all 27 stickers, by the way, in case you missed that in the video. I think we said it. 26.95, so 0.05 off sticker, perfect. Hopefully I'm not spending the whole video butchering his name, but Mike Macenko, another 27 sticker. This one has the 1 ounce end load. But again, with Miken and a lot of companies, it's sticker weight regardless. So that's about right. 0.12 off. Nothing of concern there. And then John Bailey's half ounce end load, 27 sticker weight, 26.91. So they're all right there within 0.1 basically of the true sticker weight. So I'd go with your normal swing weight. All right, that'll wrap it up for our Miken Ultra Gamer Series senior bats. Again, here in the middle, we've got Mike Dill's 13.5-inch balance model. We've got Mike Macenko's Big Cat 13.5-inch full ounce, so super max. And then John Bailey's Miken, obviously Ultra Series, but 12-inch barrel half ounce end load. And you saw PK talk about it. I'm not gonna keep this very long because again, I don't play senior ball. I more so am giving you kind of my thoughts on it simply to kind of compare throughout the videos when we get different guys out there. But as PK mentioned on all of them, he loved the feel on Mike Dill's, on Mike's, well, I guess they're both Mike, that's not gonna work, but on Macenko's, the end load one for him with his swing, at times it felt like the barrel was a little bit softer, wasn't getting the best of feedback. But again, I think for him, with it being a 1 ounce end load, 27 ounce might have been a little heavy. So for me, what it felt like was with the higher bat speed, it really allowed that end load and barrel to compress the way it's supposed to and get the feedback that you kind of, I'm guessing they're aiming for. So something to keep in mind there. So between these two, I do think you're going to want to be like a little bit of the stronger type players, faster bat speeds, whatever kind of term you want to use for Mike Macenko's. And then for Dill's, it suited my swing. It suited PK's swing. On both of them, it did seem like, though, if you slowed your swing down just a little bit and was just deliberate with the swing versus kind of over swinging, they both performed great. Didn't see a big uptick in speed when I went to kind of my normal swings with either one versus the kind of 80-ish% down back just slightly. So that's really nice to see and makes me think that they will both perform great kind of regardless of your swing, whether you're in like the early part of senior ball, that 39, 40, 41, or if you've been playing for a while and you're way up there in age. Either way, kind of keep that in mind. And then PK mentioned it. He liked the feel of this one by the end. He was getting a little bit tired there, and he mentioned, hey, he wasn't catching a lot of great sweet spot, and it was still giving him some crazy forgiveness. Still just easy to throw your hands at. Let the half ounce end load work for you. That 12-inch barrel really gives you good feedback for sure. For me, this was easily my favorite. And I think for those guys that are just getting into senior ball, still have the real fast bat speeds, things like that, this is going to be the model to go with, in my opinion. And again, I say that a little bit biasly because I am a shorter barrel fan. I swing 12.5, 12 primarily, but this one felt like one giant sweet spot. Even when I missed a couple, a little bit low, a little bit high, it still gave me good feedback, not a lot of sting on the hands, and just performed great, crazy consistency, and a absolutely great model here from Miken. But really, you can't go wrong with any three of these, in my opinion. Obviously, kind of go back if you need to, listen to kind of what PK talked about on them. But for me, this one here, the John Bailey and Mike Dill's both performed and felt more like kind of that semi-stiff feel, where with Macenko's, you got a little bit more flex, and I would call that kind of that semi-flex. Not a great way to really quantify that for you, but if you think back, if you go back and watch the Worth Bedlam senior video, PK talks about it, felt like it had a ton of flex. That's what we would classify as like flex. Obviously, the stiff or ultra stiff is going to be like your aloe handles, things like that. So I think all of these are in a good spot there in the middle where just about anyone in senior ball can swing it. Decide if you want that kind of balance feel or the end load feel, obviously with the longer barrels, or if you want that shorter barrel end load here. I will say though, with the 1 ounce end load on Mike Macenko's, with this 13.5-inch barrel, the end load does feel relatively pronounced. So make sure you are an end load fan if you're going to go with this one. That would be the only thing I would caution you with on any of these. But again, all great products from Miken. These are all available currently on Miken's website. I think it's miken.rawlings.com. I don't have a discount code for you, but if you head down in the description of the video, you'll see 3 Rawlings Hit Lab names down there, and they can all hook you up. There's their cell phone numbers on there. You can text them, call them, whatever's easiest for you. Or I know these are starting to show up on the Headbanger Sports website as well. So for that, feel free to reach out and I can help get you squared away, or simply use discount code ADS. That'll get you a nice discount and free shipping over there at checkout. But if you're in the market for a senior bat, can't go wrong with any of these. Obviously, you can go back, compare them to any of the previous videos we have. Again, senior bats have been somewhat newer to the channel since the end of 24, so we don't have a ton of reviews dating back further than that. If there's something you want to compare it against that we haven't swung yet, Big Chef Softball, my dude Marcus over there does an absolutely outstanding job. I know he swings just about every senior bat as well, so head over there, take a look, see what kind of he thinks, compare the videos, see what you think is going to fit your swing best. And if you still have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Link tree in the description of the video. We'll take you to averagedudeslowpitch.com, or has our contact info down at the bottom of the link tree as well. Either way, there's contact info. You can get a hold of us, whether it's via text, email, any of the social medias, and I'll do my best to get you kind of squared away. If I ever don't respond within about 24 hours, just ping me again. There are a lot of tournaments coming up. We have back-to-back duels between the military duel this upcoming weekend and then the Hall of Fame Vieira duel the following weekend. So we'll be busy, but I promise I'll get back to you. But don't hesitate to ping me again at that point, just because it does get busy and I will, in my mind, think I replied and just have forgotten to reply. So with that being said, though, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it helped you decide if you want to grab any of these, maybe go with a different senior model. But again, reach out if you have any questions. Discount code ADS over on Headbangers, or you go down the description of the video, hit up those Rawlings Hit Labs, folks. They'll get you squared away. But thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Have a great day.